felt like you weren't being productive enough, that you have been overbooking your calendar with loads and loads of points. You've written down every single little task from when you wake up, when you eat your lunch, what time you're working, when you go to the gym, and when you go to bed. But you find that you wake up a couple hours later than you wanted to, you missed your lunch window because you simply weren't hungry, and you made this long ass to-do list and you only got 2 points done. Well, I definitely have, and I can definitely understand why in today's society we feel like we have to overbook our calendars and we have to be productive 24/7. I can completely understand why we do this, but for me this does not work, and today I wanted to make a video on how to be productively chaotic. So my first point is you don't have to do something you don't want to if there isn't really a deadline. And by this I mean, for example, if you have side projects like a YouTube channel is a great example for this. Let's say you haven't made a video, you're pretty slow at making the video, and you're not the proudest of it, so you don't really put that much effort into the editing, and you haven't really been feeling good because you don't really like the video, or you haven't been feeling good in general, and you have this deadline that it has to be uploaded on Friday at 10 o'clock, and you hit 9 a.m. and you do not want to upload this video, and you miss your scheduled time. Then later on the day, you know what, let's put some energy into this video. You uploaded it maybe a couple hours later, or you uploaded it 1 to 2 days later, and you have a much greater result. It doesn't really matter what you get in return, if you get a lot more views or if it's homework that's in later that you get not a good grade. That's not really the point of this. The point is that if you do not have this strict deadline, you do not have to follow it. You can simply just take your time and get it done a little later. I have done this plenty of times and the results have been better, and I'm proud of myself for getting those videos out instead of like scrapping them all together. But I will say, however, when it comes to getting stuff done, for me personally, I definitely do need a rough deadline. As I said with the YouTube channel, I know I upload on Fridays and I want this videos to be out instead of having this blank idea when I want this video to be done. I think it's really important to actually have a deadline for when you want this thing to be done. So the way I personally like to structure my week, instead of saying, okay, Monday at 9 a.m. I'm gonna be filming 2 YouTube videos back to back. If I come to Monday morning and I woke up at 9, I am gonna feel terrible about myself because I was supposed to be ready to film my video and have them already filmed by 11 a.m. You know, that is really unrealistic, but instead of focusing on like, I want to get these things done today, or I want to film these things this week. And again, it can apply to anything. A great example is also with homework. If you need to get it done in less than 2 weeks or something like that, it is due in 2 weeks. Putting in a rough deadline for when you want to work on it or even be finished by the homework is a great strategy, making sure that it will get done this week and not forcing yourself to do it at a very specific time and day. I find that really helps me. So again, with this YouTube thing, making sure that I know I need to get these things done before this timeline. And of course this can be slightly unrealistic if you have work and school and you are kind of forced to do it, but if you're able to do it at a time that works better for you, that is really great and wonderful. And as I said, if I put something in my calendar on a specific day, let's just keep with the example of 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, I want to film a YouTube video on how to be productively chaotic. This video I'm filming right now. If I'm awake at 9 a.m. and I do not feel like filming this video and I'm not putting my best energy into it, why am I filming this video? Why shouldn't I wait a couple hours and film it later? Or even a day or 2 later, even if I got fully ready. If you can wait and the result will be better, isn't that a really good idea? Of course, again, sometimes you do have to force yourself to do things. I definitely have things in my life I don't want to do, but I know I have to do them. I just want to preface saying that if you don't want to do something at a certain time, you're not going to put in your best effort. So it's way much better to wait, and you can definitely do things that's going to get you in the mood to do whatever you need to get done. And of course, the strategy doesn't work for everything. Like, I definitely have to do driving through tests for my driving license because I'm currently trying to take my license. I can't really push that to the side. I have to get it done if I want to get my license. The same with homework, the same with the exam, the same with meetings. You can't decide I want to do a meeting at midnight on a random Thursday night. You simply can't. It's gonna have to be Friday at 10 a.m. You can't change that. And the same with exams. You can't take your exam whenever you feel like it. Of course, that would be way more beneficial for us if we could do the exam or the meeting or whatever whenever we actually felt like doing it. That would be wonderful, but that's just not reality. And let's just keep going with the studying for an exam. It is way much better for you to take a break if you really can't do it and focus on doing something you really enjoy. I will suggest not being on your phone. I don't know what it is. I just think you should be doing something else, like doing physical activities, reading a book, journaling, going on a walk, playing video games, anything you want. Set a timer for 30 minutes, get something fun done, even longer if that's what it takes. And that leads me on to my next point, getting the worst thing done of your work. So if you're stuck in this feeling of I'm not good enough, I don't want to do this thing, I'm gonna get a trash result anyways, I will highly encourage to do a very small task in that thing you have to work on. So here's a great example. So for example, with reading, this doesn't have a deadline, of course, you're just reading. But let's say you've been feeling terrible about the fact that you haven't been reading for days or for weeks or months or even years. The simple solution is to pick up your book, read one page or one sentence, and that's it. Read for 2 minutes, do the bare minimum, and you're gonna feel so much better about yourself because you actually picked up the book and you read. And there's a high chance that you will continue reading because you've now already picked up the book, so you might as well continue, and you might even read a lot more, and you're gonna get back into the habit of reading. Or starting the habit, who knows. And my second example, if you're studying for something you really don't want to study for, learn something super basic about the subject that you're studying for, and it'll just make it feel a little bit easier. Or read like one page of the book that you were meant to read like months ago. Something extremely simple, like break that huge task into the smallest little accomplishments. This is also a very common technique that people do in their textbooks. They will put like little gummy bears at each section, and every time you've done reading that section, you can have that gummy bear. It's a great way to get a little reward every now and then, so you'll keep going. But the reward isn't huge, it's a small little reward. One strategy I love to follow is getting the most annoying things done first thing in my day. I have things on my to-do list I really refuse to do. Like, I don't like cleaning, I don't like studying for my driving through test, I don't like doing homework, I just want to play video games, read, watch YouTube videos, and make YouTube videos. I don't want to do any of the other things. So what I will do is, when my motivation is at the highest and my temptation is at the lowest, I will do the thing I don't want to do. Like my driving theory test, because I have the least amount of temptations to go do something else than if I tried to do it later in the day. Getting the worst things done is basically just getting the sucky part over with, and it really helps. I don't like doing it, and sometimes I end up doing it later that day, but keeping the strategy is a wonderful tool. This is also why it's really common for people that want to lose weight to have like a very healthy breakfast, and it just, as your temptations get higher and higher and your motivation gets lower, it is very common that in the middle of the night you're gonna rage through your kitchen and eat everything in sight because you don't have motivation anymore and your temptation is really high. So my third point is mindset plays a huge role in how you feel about certain things. And by this I mean, if you're working on a project that you're really proud of course you're gonna put more energy into the project. In comparison to if you think this project kind of sucks, you're not gonna be putting as much effort into it. That is really normal. So either you can change your mindset about your project and think, you know what, this might not be my best work, but I'm still gonna put my highest effort into it. Especially if you are a YouTuber, putting that extra little effort into your videos can make a big deal. But I also think it's important to be able to acknowledge, this is not my best work, this will not be the thing I am most proud of, this is a learning experience for me. And definitely focusing on, this is crap, but this will not stop me from making another video. Another thing I wanted to mention about the mindset thing is being in the flow state. You know you're enjoying something if you can get into the flow state of things. I have a very difficult time getting into the flow state and doing things I don't enjoy, like doing homework, and I can very easily get into the flow state when I'm editing videos, scripting videos. And if you don't know what the flow state means, it basically means that we are in this state of mind when time just passes by and you're not even realizing, you're so focused and like you don't judge yourself or anything. You're literally just working and getting things done. This can apply to anything. This can apply to art, homework, anything you are passionate about. It is just a very easy state to be in, and it is extremely important to get into the flow state. I love being in the flow state. It makes me feel super good. And I think I mentioned in another video about how to be more productive by following a studying method. I do not agree with this. I think I mentioned the Pomodoro method, and I definitely think it has its place and time if you have to get something done you really don't want to get done. I think it's really great to use the Pomodoro method in those scenarios, but doing that with things you're passionate about is not a great idea. It's much better to work and keep working. It's much better to work for a longer period of time and then taking a break when you need to do basic things like go to the bathroom or eat. And a technique I think is way better to follow is actually just watching people study. If you're having a really time studying and you feel kind of shitty, I think that's a wonderful tool. If you want a really great suggestion, I know Elizabeth Phillips have made a really great video where she's literally just studying for an hour with cute music in the background. That definitely helps when I am not in the mood to be working. But I usually forget if I'm in the flow state because, you know, I'm working. And my next point is work should not feel like work. And yes, of course, your 9-to-5 job will feel like work. That is just something you cannot change. Work will feel like work sometimes. But when it comes to your personal projects and what you love to do, it should not feel like work. And of course in your projects there will be not so fun things you don't really want to do. Like for me with my YouTube channel, I really like editing, I really like scripting, but I don't like the filming, which is kind of funny. But I know I have to get the filming done to be able to post a video, you know, because filming is like the third step in the process of making a YouTube video. And of course this can be applied to anything. In your 9-to-5 job, if that's the job you really like doing, there will be fun and easy things in your job, and there will also be things that are just boring and challenging. That's just life, but making sure that most of the work that you get done is fun. And the reasoning that work shouldn't feel like work is because our brains will think that work is something we don't want to get done. So we don't want to think, oh, this is work, I don't actually want to do this, but I'm actually just doing it. It should just feel like fun. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!